Born and raised in Kenya, Dr. Njoroge was first introduced to the intriguing world of medicine by his grandmother, who was an herbal medicinal doctor. He went on to the University of Nairobi, where he graduated with first-class honors and a degree in chemistry. He proceeded to obtain master's and doctorate degrees in organic chemistry from Case Western University in the U.S. in 1985. Since then, Dr. Njoroge has made a career as one of the scientific world's leading researchers and pioneers, particularly in the fields of infectious diseases and oncology. He has published over 120 research papers and has been awarded over 100 patents, the first African researcher to do so.
Thank you, Alex, and all protocols observed. Are you excited to be here? Thank you, Alex, for arranging this. It's good to be in one room with all people who have similar experiences so that we can share what we have had in those distant lands. If we could go to my slides, because I know we are hard with time, I would like to take you through the journey that I went through since I left this motherland, our country. I left here maybe longer than most of you. I was in US for more than 40 years. I came back in 2019. Professor Wairongo, the Swahili master there, we are with him there, and we had a lot of interesting discussions. So what I'm going to do today is take you through a journey that provided one of the best medicines in the world, and also what we are doing to make sure that we transfer that technology to our motherland, Kenya. So the story I'm going to talk about is a disease called hepatitis C. Very early in the early years, around 1986, nobody knew about this disease. It was as bad as COVID. As you saw from the slide, affecting more than 3 million Americans, and worldwide, it had about 200 million people affected with hepatitis C. So what I'm going to talk quickly is about discovering of that drug and development of that medicine and what we can do with that knowledge back here in Kenya. Next slide, please. So the story I'm talking about again is about this disease, hepatitis C, which was a deadly disease. As you can see, a big public crisis affecting more than 200 million people worldwide, and about 3 to 4 about 3 to 4 million Americans. And the problem with hepatitis C, if it continues to exist, it develops into a cancer of the liver cirrhosis. So it's very dire disease. So when I started back in 1986, there was no medicine for it, and people were dying from the disease, and so we had to put our science together and come up with a drug, a small molecule that could become a drug. Next slide, please. I worked with my group to come up with a molecule that was very, very effective in treatment of hepatitis C. And you can see me with one of my colleagues trying to design what medicine can attack this virus that was really a very difficult one to treat. Next slide, please. And through that work, we got a very nice molecule that was oral. You could give as a tablet, and we had to file what they call in US an NDA to the Food and Drug Administration, which we did back in 2010. And since there was no medicine for this disease, it had to take what they call priority review. That means it had been to be given by specialists to review the data and give a response within 6 months. The reviewers are people from Harvard, MIT, Yale, and Stanford, and all those big universities. So they reviewed it, and interestingly enough, on April 27th of 2011, they had to vote whether this medicine should go to the market. And to 12-0, meaning nobody voted against it, it was approved and to go to the market. And that the approval came on May 13, 2011, and it had to also have an approval in Europe through the European Commission, and on July 18th, 2011, it was also approved in Europe. The drug's name is Victrelis. Original name was Boceprevir. And around, you can see the packaging there. And around 2012, it sold about 50.1 billion Kenyan shillings. That and made even more progress. So this is where because it was very expensive to produce this medicine in US, we had to set up a facility in Singapore. And Paul, I think that's where you are. We also had to go to Singapore. And that's me now in the manufacturing facility in Singapore. It was much easier or more cost-effective doing this work in Singapore. Next slide, please. So after we manufactured the drug, it was very, very successful. And I got a lot of calls from Kenya. I think Paul was not there, but I got a lot of calls. They said, we had you discovered a drug, and you have a lot of money. Can you send some to Kenya? Unfortunately, they didn't know that I was working for a pharmaceutical company, and all the proceeds from the drug were going to my master company. I was getting a zero except my salary and living expenses. So I had to tell them I didn't have that money to give out. Fortunately, my solace and my fulfillment came with what this drug did. This is just a letter, you cannot read it, but it's a lady from Las Vegas who said that I was the first person in Clark County to undergo the new Victrelis treatment for Hep C type 1A. My viral load was 11 million when I started in June 2011, and I'm now happy to report, thanks to all of you, it is now 0. So this was a letter from one of the patients. Next slide, please. So this is the team, and you saw it in the other slide. It's a very international team. You can see the American, the Indian, the Chinese, all of them, we had to work together. I had about more than 100 PhDs working with me to come to this discovery. Next slide, please. And through that, as you heard about the patents, every item, to get this medicine, we had to look about 1 million molecules to get that one drug. It took 15 years to get that drug. And those were converted, those were what we wrote as patents, because every step you discover something new, you had to patent so that nobody else scoops you. And that's all these are the patents that we wrote. Next slide, please. And from that, there were several awards, the Heroes of Chemistry. Next slide, please. And interestingly enough, this is a molecule that we kind of configured. And it's interesting in science because about 2019, COVID came. And COVID had some similarities to hepatitis C. So there was a company, all of you might know because you have their vaccine, Pfizer. They looked at the molecule and they found that some scientists in US had decided that, or had found out that the molecule I made was also active in COVID. And they came and took my molecule. Sorry for bringing in some chemistry here. I know most of us are not chemists, but I've done some structures here. We used to call it a rabbit here because that's a molecule. That's my molecule on the left-hand side. But you can see they tweaked the molecule. They found out they wanted to be even a better molecule for COVID treatment. And they came up with a molecule which they changed the tail and came up with the only molecule today that can treat COVID for serious cases that is sold, other than the ones that are anecdotal. And that's if you go to the pharmacies, it's called Paxlovid by Pfizer. And in the year 2022, Pfizer made about $1.7 trillion Kenyan shillings from the sale of Paxlovid. Now, you can see John Luhmann of Bloomberg Business Week wrote a big article, and those who came from America can understand what they wrote in the article. They said, Merck's COVID pill fumble gives Pfizer potential for $17 billion. You know what fumbling is? When you throw the football and the intended person does not catch it, somebody catches it. That's the story. Next slide, please. So let's come now to Kenya. I am not going to give you more stories, but that's a story in America. We decided to come back to Kenya around 2019 to establish what we would call medical tourism, and mostly to bring information, start manufacturing, have life science education, biotechnology, and do more research and have universal healthcare. I've been working with also with KU Referral Hospital, and also I've worked with the University of Manchester. People talked about University of Manchester. We are doing research on esophageal cancer. Next slide, please. So in this effort, why Naivasha? We are calling it MedVasha, Vasha Med City, is because it's a good attraction city. This is in the international tourism. We want medicine people to be coming, like they go to Thailand and other places where they can come, be treated, and also they enjoy the amenities of our country, Kenya. They can come with their families where they are when they are being treated. Those families could be having vacations in our country. And you can see how Zuckerberg is enjoying Kenya in one of the trips. Next slide, please. So these are the areas we are working on. Of course, we are in a very interesting place in Naivasha, just above the Ramea, whereby from the top you can see Lake Naivasha, like it's just next to you. And it's very green as opposed to most of the Naivasha. So we are having drug manufacturing, trying to set it up, life science institutions, biotechnology, vaccine, and more importantly, because we are encouraging people to come for this medical tourism, we have hotels and convention center where they can stay. Next slide, please. So this is where we are. I'm taking this picture from the top. I think Alex took one of them. He was there with the drone. This is from the top. This is the land where we are putting the facility. Next slide, please. And the job, we started the work. You can see the infrastructure. We've done about 10 kilometers of load, and now the construction is starting. And you can see some fellows from, I don't know whether they are here, from Family Bank, coming to visit the facility. Next slide, please. And you can see this is part of the roads that are being made. It's coming from the bottom and going all the way to the top. From the top, you look at the Naivasha, and it's very, very beautiful. Next slide, please. And this is how it will be. This will be a multi-specialty hospital where we will be looking at the major diseases, cancer, renal, and others, and move on as we combat other diseases. Next slide. And this is one of the resorts where the families will be enjoying. You can see this is the hospitality area, and already we've mapped out whether this is going to be. Next slide. And as I said, we need to, one thing we are lacking in Kenya is experts, medical experts, and this is another area we just want to concentrate on in the university area, in the medical area, so that we can produce more health practitioners, more health experts. Next slide, please. And so what this is going to do, we're going to have his hospitality, manufacturing, housing, and drug discovery. These are our 4 pillars that we are working on. Next slide, please. And from there, these are the numbers we are expecting to get. From hospitality, 1,000, manufacturing, 2,500. And so we expect about, in the beginning when we start with the effort, about 6,500 Kenyans. This will be the starting. If it kicks off and we put all the other infrastructures in place, the numbers will go up and will be very competitive in the world. Next slide, please. So this is towards my end of presentation. This is what we've done. We have about 400 acres of panoramic Naivasha Cliff area land above Delamere. We've done all the topographic survey for all the 400 acres, planted over 100,000 hardwood trees, and presented this work to Laird of London Group, who rated this project very, very highly. And the project planners have provided us with the preliminary master plans, which we are working on. And work in progress is now business discussion, and we have many people who we are discussing with how to get all this. This is a humongous project, so we cannot work just by ourselves. And that's why it's also important that you are all here, you are all in it with us, we are all gonna work together, and that's for this hospitality manufacturing house. Wherever you can feel, you can fit in. Next slide, please. And one cannot do all this without good support, without support of Alex, and without the support of that lady in a yellow jacket. And that's my wife, Esther Nyambura Joroge, who has supported me all the way. And that's my daughter, who is now a professor at Stanford University, and Jesse, who went to Cornell University. Actually, my daughter, Joy Joroge, also went to Northwestern University, where Professor Wairongo used to teach Swahili. Okay, thank you so much. This is basically giving you an idea of what we are doing, and I'm very, very happy to be having a fellowship with my fellow diasporians. Thank you very much.
What a story, what a story. Tumpigie Prof makofi. Amesoma, watoto amesoma, Prof amesoma mpaka nywele imeisha kwa kichwa. Imagine establishing a medicine manufacturing plant in Kenya. Tumpigie makofi. Who said it's brain drain? Mlikuwa mnasema brain drain. Is it brain drain really? And we'll have a panel discussion on that. Going Maju, is it brain drain or brain gain? Sa tutakuja hapo. Swali moja tu kwa Prof.
Peter Dua, Maritani from North Carolina. I was a banker. Thank you very much. Prof, great work, and everybody else who's done great work. The question I just had is, I really love what I've just seen, but I'm wondering is, are we partnering with some of the things that are actually being formulated? We have a Tattoo City, we have the Konza, now I can see you have another one. I saw another gentleman in Makueni opening another place. And I'm finding, are we all working in silos, or are we trying to come together and build up into one?
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's a very, very good question, because that's one thing that can hinder progress if you work in silos. Yes, we are all we are working with the people we have the same mindset, and we are trying to bring a lot of those into it. However, as we said, you know, this is a big area. You heard about people doing constructions. You had people who are doing other business. We have just heard from Paul doing financial aspects. And we all work together, because we cannot work without finances, Paul. We need that money. And so we have to talk, but we have to know, and that's why this forum is so important, so that we can interact. But we are trying to work with not only actually in Kenya, even abroad. Now, one I didn't show you, there's a group that just came to see this project from Germany and Dubai. So it's going to be an international effort, because there's a big opportunity in our country. People want to come and work here because of the knowledge and also the climate that we have. So that's a good question, but we will reach out to anybody who can hear us, so that we can move these things. You cannot just do it by yourself.
Makofi tena kwa Prof. Makofi, thank you so much.